Welcome to Fayetteville in Focus, the city show highlighting stories from around town.
Every 2 weeks, a new episode will air on Fay TV, the City of Fayetteville's government access channel. Fay TV airs on Channel 7 on Time Warner Cable, and it's also streamed online at faytv.net.
In this episode, we're changing up the format a little bit in order to help provide residents important information related to the recovery after Hurricane Matthew.
As you know, close to 15 inches of rain fell on Fayetteville on October the 8th.
And that's on top of the 10 inches of rain we had received just a few weeks earlier.
And both storms have had a major impact on our community.
Because a disaster has been declared at the federal, state, and local levels, there are additional resources available to residents and local businesses impacted by the storm. FEMA encourages anyone who sustained property damage because of the flooding to register with FEMA, as you may be eligible for federal and state disaster assistance. You can register online at their website, www.disasterassistance.gov. If you have difficulty accessing the internet, you can call the FEMA hotline at 1-800-621-FEMA, which can also be used by applicants who use 711 or a video relay service for individuals with hearing or speech disabilities. For those that uses a TTY, they're asked to call 1-800-462-7585. Applicants can also download the FEMA mobile app from fema.gov/mobile app. Applicants can also apply at a disaster recovery center. The one closest to Fayetteville is at the Harnett County Governmental Complex, located at 309 West Cornelius Harnett Boulevard in Lillington. Information about important community resources has also been compiled into a pamphlet that's available for download at the city's website at fayetteville.nc.gov/hurricane. There you'll find some other important information related to the storm recovery.
To help connect residents who want to donate money, Governor McCrory has activated the NC Disaster Relief Fund, to which monetary contributions may be made. To make a donation, please visit ncdisasterrelief.org. You may also text NC Recovers to the phone number 30306. All donations received will support Hurricane Matthew long-term recovery efforts in North Carolina. Additionally, all other monetary donations and offers to volunteer may be made directly through charitable nonprofit organizations that are responding to this disaster. Information is available at the North Carolina Voluntary Organizations Active in Disaster website at ncvoad.org. Just look under the Hurricane Matthew Donate Now and under Volunteer Opportunities sections. If you're looking to donate clothing, contact a charitable organization within your community. You can also donate food items through local food banks and pantries and charities in your community. Here's a tip to remember. Cash is best. It helps to ensure a steady flow of important services to survivors, and the local organizations spend the money in the community, helping to accelerate our economic recovery. DSS continues to accept applications for replacement food stamps from existing food and nutrition clients who experience flood damage or power outages. As of October 14th, more than 3,000 residents had received replacement food stamp benefits.
The Community Development Department has compiled a housing inventory list to help residents displaced by the flooding find a place to live. Anyone looking for more information about the list can contact the Community Development Department at 433-1590. And the Inspections and Code Enforcement Divisions have completed the preliminary damage assessment for within the Fayetteville city limits. The number of structures affected by Hurricane Matthew is over 800. This is reporting structures that had major flooding or structural damage from falling trees or the wind.
Recycling and household garbage collection has resumed services. Due to the damage to the road leading into Rayconda neighborhood, the Environmental Services Department has arranged for dumpsters to be placed near the current entrance to the community. To help with the cleanup after the storm, the city has contracted with a professional disaster collection company to remove limbs and flood-damaged debris at the curbside. Items must be sorted by type at the curb for collection. More information about the service is available on the city's website at fayettevillenc.gov/debris. City residents are encouraged to get as much vegetative and flood damage debris as possible to the curb. The contractor will work 7 days a week. City crews will collect yard waste in containers and bags on the regular schedule. City crews will suspend the weekly limb collection while the contractor is collecting storm debris. Oversized limb and load restrictions are waived for 30 days on storm debris only. Contractors may place cut debris at the curb for collection by the storm debris contractor. Keep in mind, this is for storm debris only, not the time for cutting and pruning other limb debris. Here's a brief instructional video provided by the contractor to help speed up and improve the collection process for residents.
Nobody expects a disaster to occur, and certainly not in our own neighborhood. While we might not be able to prevent disasters, all of us can help speed up the recovery from the latest one.
Debris removal contractors have been hired to collect disaster-generated debris by your local government. Debris removal crews aren't allowed to come onto your private property, so it's important that you set your debris along the right-of-way and separate it according to debris type. If you're not sure where the right-of-way is on your property, it will generally be the area between the street and the sidewalk, or the street and the back of a ditch, or the street and a utility pole or fire hydrant. If you're still unsure, place the debris as close to the street as possible without going onto the pavement, and keep the piles from going more than about 10 feet onto your property. Be sure to avoid stacking debris against trees or poles, or on top of fire hydrants, utility boxes, or storm drains. Okay, now that you know where to put debris, let's talk about what debris is eligible for removal. You must make a separate pile for each type of debris. Mixing debris types may cause the debris removal crews to skip your house. It is important to remember that bagged debris and your regular household garbage are not eligible to be collected by the disaster debris removal crews and need to be kept in a separate pile. The types of debris that are eligible for removal are vegetative. This includes things like limbs, branches, or logs. Construction and demolition. This includes drywall or other building materials, fencing, and carpets or furniture. Appliances, which are also referred to as white goods. This includes things like washers and dryers, hot water heaters, or refrigerators. Make sure you secure it before putting it on the right-of-way to avoid curious animals or even kids getting into them. Electronics. This includes things like computers, televisions, VCRs, stereos, or other electronics that have a cord. Household hazardous waste. This includes things like paints, oils, batteries, pesticides, or cleaning supplies. Debris types are collected separately and sometimes a few days apart, so don't worry if the first truck you see doesn't pick up all your debris. Also, avoid parking your car or placing a dumpster in front of a pile of debris, making it inaccessible for removal.
Following these guidelines will allow the debris removal contractors to move through your neighborhood efficiently. Proper curbside debris separation means a speedier recovery for our community. We're all in this together.
The city has a database at fayetteville.nc.gov/roads listing the local roads maintained by the city and major roads maintained by the NCDOT that were damaged during the hurricane and their estimated dates to reopen. And on our website, you'll also find a link to the North Carolina Department of Transportation website that lists all the area roads affected by the storm. The city of Fayetteville has identified neighborhoods that have been completely cut off from the rest of the city because roads leading into their neighborhoods have collapsed due to the damage caused by Hurricane Matthew. The neighborhoods are Kings Grant and Rayconda subdivisions. City engineers have identified alternative access routes so residents can leave and enter their neighborhoods. City engineers are working on the repair of the culvert underneath Shawcroft Road leading into Kings Grant. Once Shawcroft Road is repaired, the alternate access road will be closed. The alternate route into Rayconda would become the permanent entrance with upgrades coming in the near future. For Kings Grant, the alternate access would be to extend Cottage Way to connect with Shawcroft Road. For Rayconda, the city will provide access by extending Pinewood Terrace to Rayford Road.
FAST is operating regular bus schedules and Fast Track is available for residents. In addition, FAST provided emergency trips to and from shelters to help with the consolidation of the shelters.
During several recent meetings, the Fayetteville City Council has taken several actions to help with the recovery efforts. On October 18th, the Council approved bus passes for those who are in the shelters. They've waived parks and recreation fees for children staying in the shelters, suspended time limits for parking in areas affected by the storm, lifted zoning restrictions for portable storage shelters to give residents time to repair their properties, and they've waived storm-related permit fees through the month of December. City Council also directed staff with the Community Development Department to present a plan to Council on October 24th on how to use federal grant funding to assist residents.
The request for voluntary water conservation measures for Fayetteville Public Works Commission customers has been lifted as the PWC water treatment facilities has returned to normal operations following Hurricane Matthew. After the boil water advisory was lifted, you may have seen water that looked white or milky. That was from the air in the lines, and it will clear. Per PWC service regulations, PWC will waive all temporary service charges and connection reconnection fees for customers who have had their homes impacted by the storm. PWC will work with customers who may have difficulty paying their bills because of the storm. Customers who need to make payment arrangements should contact the PWC, and they will work with customers on an individual basis and develop arrangements that meet their individual circumstances. For the time being, PWC has temporarily suspended disconnections for non-payments.
All Parks and Recreation athletic events resumed on October 22nd. The Westover Recreation Center continues to operate as a shelter, and all other recreation centers have resumed normal operating schedules. Area volunteer efforts are being coordinated via the Red Cross, and a room at the Kiwanis Rec Center has been set up for this effort. Additional efforts of aid are being seen in various community organizations, and Fayetteville Cumberland Parks and Recreation sites are being used to assist in these efforts. Crews continue to work on the cleanup and repair to Festival Park, which received extensive damage from the flooding, with events returning to Festival Park on October 21st. During the storm, Parks and Rec provided passenger vans to help with rescue efforts, and most recreation centers sustained minimal water damage, with carpets being removed in some of these locations. The North Carolina Veterans Park received approximately 3 to 4 feet of water inside the building, and it will remain closed until further notice. Clark Park is open, but some of the trails remain closed because of downed trees and debris. And the Cape Fear River Trail north of Eastwood Avenue is closed as well because of the downed trees.
Media is helping to advise residents that in the aftermath of Hurricane Matthew, homeowners should be aware of post-storm scams. Residents and businesses are asked to watch out for scammers impersonating FEMA and power company officials, home repair fraud, charity scams, and price gouging. Be suspicious of anyone who contacts you and then ask for your personal information, no matter who they claim to be or why they say they need the information. The Fayetteville Police Department's fraud unit would like to remind citizens of the following tips to avoid becoming the victim of a scam. Scams can happen over the phone, in person, through email, and over text messages. Never pay for disaster assistance applications. FEMA does not charge a fee for applications. Ask for an official ID. Don't be fooled by hats, clothing, or vehicles. Insurance companies typically tell you who's coming to your home. Do not pay for work up front. Beware of a contractor who solicits for work or tries to rush you into making a decision. FEMA does not endorse contractors. Get 3 written estimates and compare bids. Check your contractor's credentials before they start work. Make sure all licenses, bonds, and insurance policies are up to date. If you've been a victim of a scam, contact the North Carolina Department of Justice Consumer Hotline at 1-877-5-NO-SCAM or file a complaint online at ncdoj.com.
During the storm, the Fire and Emergency Management Department performed more than 250 rescues with 703 people saved, and the 911 call center alone received 2,826 calls on 911 lines and another 1,428 calls on administration lines, and this is just during the first 24 hours of the storm. During the days that followed the disaster, the fire department responded to multiple fires after electricity was restored to the homes and appliances that were left on then caught fire. After the threat of flooding in Fayetteville eased, swiftwater rescue teams from Fayetteville traveled to help rescue residents in Kinston from flooding.
Several organizations, including the Center for Economic Empowerment and Development, also known as SEED, and the Fayetteville Greater Chamber are offering assistance to local businesses with applying for state and federal assistance. Currently, SEED is allowing business owners in need the use of its computer lab and has made available printed instructions for FEMA's small business assistance. From October 19th through October 28th, from 1 to 8 p.m., business or homeowners can have one-on-one assistance with representatives with the Greater Fayetteville Chamber. Volunteers are available by appointment by calling 910-433-6770 to schedule an appointment. Walk-ins are welcome, but the wait time may be extensive. The information they're asking for to help complete the application includes Social Security number of each applicant or the employer identification number of the business. Insurance information, which could include homeowners, flood, automobile, or mobile home insurance. Damage information, including the type of damage and the type of dwelling or vehicle damaged. Financial information such as total annual household income before taxes and at the time of the disaster. Contact information for where the damage occurred, including address and a phone number where you can be reached now. You'll also be asked to provide direct deposit information if you are approved for assistance. If you plan on applying for assistance online at disasterassistance.gov, here are a few steps to help you. Step 1. Take photos of any damage. Step 2. Contact your insurance company. Step 3. Record your inventory. Step 4. Apply online to FEMA at www.disasterassistance.gov or call 1-800-621-3362. Step 5. Write letter of circumstance for employees. Make sure to mention natural disaster and laid off. Step 6. Employees can file for unemployment with the North Carolina Division of Employment Security at www.desncc.com/DES. Step 7. You can apply for a SBA disaster loan if needed at disasterloan.sba.gov/ELA. For additional help with applying for assistance, you have several organizations that can help, including SEED, Small Business Center at 910-323-3377. The City of Fayetteville Department of Economic and Business Development at 910-433-1304. The FTCC Small Business Center at 910-678-8462. The Greater Fayetteville Chamber at 910-433-6770. North Carolina Bar Association at 1-800-662-7407. The SBA Disaster Loan Office at FSU, 910-672-1727.
With all of the destruction caused by the storm, we wanted to take a moment to share with you a positive story, the missing man table at the North Carolina Veterans Memorial Park.
During the storm, Veterans Park had several feet of water of flooding inside the building, but the missing man table stayed pristine.
Well, Saturday, it was just heavy rain when we shut everything down. Everything was intact. And Sunday, when we came in, everything was a mess.
We were pretty devastated when we came in Monday and to survey the damage. We came in expecting some damage, but not what we saw. We can't get into some of the rooms. We have heavy equipment that's blocking them, that's moved over. And then we noticed the table. This fairly light table is in perfect condition.
The table is a representative of the men and women that have given their life for the country. The table is called the missing man table because of that.
The significance of some of these items, you've got the headgear of the various branches of the service. You've got the Air Force, Navy, Army, Coast Guard, Marine Corps, and the glasses are inverted for those. They're not here, so they can't raise a glass with us. The lemon in the middle is the bitterness of the fate of our missing, and then the rose is to commemorate the families, with the red ribbon around that, and the shaker of salt is the tears of the family and the friends.
It actually heartened, it helped us a lot. It's part of the resiliency of the military, in our opinion, and a lot of us is the fact that what happens, the military stands firm, and our table stood right where it's supposed to be.
There's a higher power that takes care of that table. So now it has quite a little history of its own.
This will wrap up this episode of Fayetteville in Focus.
We hope that you found this episode helpful and informative. If you'd like to watch this or any other Fayette TV programming, visit us on the web at fayettetv.net.
So remember to like us on Facebook.
Subscribe to us on YouTube.
And keep watching our live stream on our website or on Time Warner Cable Channel 7.
Thank you for watching Fayette TV.